Assalamu alaikum everyone. How are you? I hope you all are fine. So today we will going to discuss general concepts about systematics and taxonomy. So let's start with our topic, species. Species have different school of thoughts and they have 20 different types of concepts that explain what species is. So according to biological classification of species are the organisms that can interbreed with each other. Okay, this is one concept. There is another concept that is ecological concept, which explains that species organisms which can share or framed within a same ecological niche that share the same resources are called as species. Okay, so the organisms that inhabits or live within a same ecological niche. Cool. I think there is nothing difficult in this concept. Another concept that describes what species is that organisms that can interbreed and pass on their genes to the next generation within a population sharing a common gene pool. Cool. What does it that mean? The organisms, let's see. This is the example. These are the organisms. Okay. I can say this is the gene pool of this population of frog. One red, two purple, and all green. Okay, so this representing the overall, all complete genetic information. Gene pool explains all the genetic variants within a population. Okay, so the organism that can interbreed, the green one and the red one, if they interbreed and pass on their genes to the next generation within a population that share a common gene pool. So they belong, these two members, these two guys belong to the common gene pool. Okay, they share a common population, they have a common gene pool, and they can interbreed with each other and pass on their genes to their next generation. Okay, and the example of ecological niche, you can say that I cannot say that rabbit and tiger are the same species, since they are their ecological niche and their conditions, their resources, their pattern of living, and all these stuffs are quite different from each other. Okay, so these are the basic concepts. Now we will focus on the evolutionary concept of species. What is species according to evolutionary concept? Okay, Simpson is the scientist that explains this concept. A lineage evolving separately from others and with its own unitary evolutionary roles and tendencies. So what is lineage? Ancestral descendant sequence of a population is termed as the lineage. We can describe this as a lineage. Okay, when we see this slide, you can see this is a lineage. Okay, ancestor to descendant. Okay, it is evolving over time. This is another lineage. Okay, evolve. So according to evolutionary concept, species is described as a lineage evolving separately from others, okay, with its own unitary evolutionary roles. What is unitary evolution? Unit means one specific unit, cell, condition, or term. Okay, one specified unit. Evolutionary unit means that the lineages are evolving over time that have a specific criterion for evolution. You can consider the example of a giraffe that is evolving with the period of time, their neck elongated, and they have their own specific evolutionary roles and tendencies that are quite separate from the evolution of other lineages. You can consider the lineage of dragonfly, Drosophila, whatever you want to see. Okay, you want to say. So a lineage that share a separate, unique evolutionary role. Okay, and same ancestral descendant sequence of a population evolving separately from the other lineages. Okay, with its own unitary evolutionary role and tendencies. I hope so. This is very easy. You can understand this, that these species B has its own lineage. It's evolving with its own tendencies, with its own evolutionary concept. Okay, and this species A has its own tendencies. So these are the lineages. Okay, and I can assign a species as a single species as a lineage, the full lineage. These are the members of a population from time ancestors million, billion, trillion years ago to the later time. Okay, so it includes all of its ancestors, ancestor 1, ancestor 2, descendants, and all of its descendants. This lineage is considered as one whole species. Okay, this is not one member, one organism. This does not represent one organism at a particular time. Okay, this represents number of ancestor, descendant, and all the frameworks that are starting from the beginning until now, and we call this whole lineage as a single species. Okay, this is the evolutionary definition of species. There are problems in this definition. One problem is that we don't know what is the unitary evolutionary role or criteria or specification of this lineage. We don't know that, and we do not know the this species criteria. Okay, this lineage, this purple lineage, we don't know what is the unitary or specific criteria for this species to evolve from its ancestor to its descendants. Okay, cool. And another factor, there is one positive thing that this concept is useful. It explains the morphotypes in a single phyletic lineage. Now we will see what is morphotypes mean. Morphotypes mean the individual that are that shows variation within a same population of a same species, of a species. Okay, you can see this is a example of morphotypes. This body form is quite different from endomorphic body type. Okay, so these are the morphotypes of a single species, of a single population. Okay, these are the morphotypes. So what does this theory or evolutionary concept is helpful for? It is helpful in a sense. It describes the morphotypes evolution. That how morphotype. Let's suppose this species B has morphotype, multiple morphotypes. And these concepts explain how the morphotypes basically evolve from what's the ancestor of that particular type or that particular form. Okay, let's suppose I have frogs again. I have small size frog, large size frog, red frog, blue frog, and I say they form say one lineage. Okay, red frog is the ancestor of green frog, and green frog is the ancestor of yellow frog. Okay, and I will come to know about their evolutionary and its their ancestor and the origin of the morphotypes, actually how the later morphotypes evolved from. Okay, and moreover this explains that morphotypes have different unitary evolutionary roles. What are the unitary roles, and should that be considered different species, or whether they all have the same unitary evolutionary role and should thus be treated as a chrono species. So what is chrono species? Chrono species is described